Welcome everyone to the video. Today we are going to talk about the new summons and if you should summon. So we've got some new summons. We've got, first of all, the month summon is still going on for another week. This is definitely recommended for the pit. If you want to do the pit of Daznak, Daenerys and Grey Worm do a great job. They have great synergy and they work well. We have the Khalasar Red Wedding, Survivors of the Patch, and the Ygritte summon. So let's talk about the Khalasar. Now this is the Free City synergy. And the Free City synergy is very useful in this game. If you have 3 team members, you get 40% additional stamina. If you pair that with the greens, you have 3 Free City members, and let's say Sunfire and Aegon, you could use Rook's Rest and do level 14 and 15 with no turns taken. Now, most people have Zaro already. Then you have Jorah, which you get from Trials, so you'll probably have him unlocked. So you only need one more member to get that synergy. So this might not be a bad pickup. You can get the common. You can get the common in this situation. Where is he? There he is. The Dothraki Blood Rider. You just need the synergy. You just need 3 members for it. As a bonus, you'll get Daenerys and Khal Drogo. This might be worth it just to get the Free City synergy for the Rook's Rest. Daenerys has a great ability to pass stamina and heal, and it is a fast speed move. She also has the ability that when she drops below, when she's ready to die, she goes to 1% and her stamina fills. So that is very handy. But the one thing I will say is ever since the nerf to the Dothraki Long Braid, this team has fallen off the map. It's not very strong in tower, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you want to cheese the Rook's Rest level 14 and level 15, get 3 members of Free Cities with your Aegon, with your Sunfire, and you'll destroy melees and you'll destroy the Aegon and Sunfire node, number 14 and 15. So the Free City synergy is good for that. Very limited amount of draws for that. Then we have the Red Wedding, which has Walder Frey, Roose Bolton, and Walder Rivers. Unfortunately, these characters aren't really going to help you much in Rob's war, so I wouldn't recommend them. If you really like the Boltons and you want to build a bleed team, it's definitely a solid foundation for the team, and that could be worth doing, but I really can't recommend them because it's green tokens, and green tokens are the most valuable in the game. So I would pass on this one unless you are an avid fan. Then we have Survivors of the Watch. Now, this has King in the North, Jon Snow, and Ghost. And I will say, if you do want to do well in Rob's War, Jon Snow, King in the North, is the meta character. He is your character to get lots of points. And why is that? Well, you use Lord of Bones. Everyone has Lord of Bones. With his passive, when an enemy is afflicted with ice, he'll gain 10% stamina, and that enemy loses 5% stamina. So you do Lord of Bones with the AoE ice, gets all this ice, fills Jon Snow's stamina, and then Jon Snow's move will inflict 1 ice, and then 4 random enemies attacked will have a chance to be afflicted with 1 ice. So you're spreading a lot of ice around. He's very solid. He has a leadership ability that I use in the Dragons. So when he's defeated, he comes back to life, and allies gain 15% defense. It's super solid. I use it against Rhaegal with my Stark team. Now let's talk about Ghost. Ghost has fallen off the map a little bit in my opinion because he does not have the passive move that does ice. He does have Predator's Gaze, which will do minus 10% attack, which is very good with dragons. I do use him dragon against dragons all the time with my Stark team. You just need enough ice makers in order for Ghost to be useful. He also is pretty squishy, so you do need to have him at high stars. He has been buffed with his attack for his special move, and it is a fast speed move. He takes advantage of brittle enemies and does a lot of damage. So if you do want to build an ice team and you do want to do well in the Rob's War event, King in the North is your man to go. I've seen people do well with 3-star King in the North, level 150. Mine is level 198, so you could get 4-star for a little extra firepower, and I was able to get first in Treacherous. Super solid. Use your King in the North, Lord of Bones. You could use Ned and the Flayer, the Dreadfort Flayer, and you could just score lots of points. Ned also boosts King in the North because his passive, which will afflict enemies with ice, will give King in the North stamina gain. Now, I know it's 5% stamina at lower stars. I'm not sure what star level gets to 10% stamina, but if you do want to build an ice team, he is a must for your ice team. He is just super solid, and they buffed his attack, so it does do more damage. It used to do very little damage. Now it does a lot more damage. But you want him because he creates a lot of ice, and he spreads it around, which is super useful. He's also good for tower. Ghost is good for the tower. So this is a summon I recommend. And then finally, we have Invaders from the North, which is Ygritte and the Wildlings. Now, this summon is the only summon where every 10 pull, you're guaranteed to get just one character. So you have Ygritte in here, and her drop rates are between 3 to 20 shards. But every time you do the summon, you will get Ygritte. Now, do I recommend Ygritte? Well, it's hard to say because she's not in any meta teams. She's not going to help you in an event. She does have, let's go to her skills and I'll pull it up for you guys. So she has an ability which is fast speed, and if she doesn't kill the enemy, she inflicts 3 bleed, which is cool. 3 bleed is cool. 3 bleed is cool. However, she is an archer and a marksman, and she does a lot of damage. So the chances of you killing someone is much higher, and you won't afflict the bleed. In the Rob's War event, she could be useful at low stars, depending, but I really wouldn't use green summons on her. I don't think she is green summons worthy. Comment below and let me know if you're going to be summoning anyone. So just to summarize, this is a good summon. Daenerys and Grey Worm. The Khalasar, get your 3 free city members on your roster. Doesn't matter what star level you have them on, because content could use, this is a turn-based game, and it could be useful. So you can use a little bit of summons just to unlock. Red Wedding, I would stay away from. I wouldn't recommend that. The Survivors of the Watch, I highly recommend. Rob's War, we're going to get it once a month, and King in the North is just so good. He is just so good for the event, and you get Ghost. They're both good for the Stark Tower too, so you could totally use them. And again, mine is only level 198, my King in the North. So that's a definitely good summon. And then Invaders of the North, I would skip. Comment below, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care, all.